Hello, everybody. Evan Abrams here, rounding out our video challenges for the last couple of weeks. A little recap of what we've been doing and a little look at what has been sent in to our Discord. So that's to bit.ly/PR Discord. Not a lot of things coming in, I'll be honest, but that's probably because a lot of the features we look at are pretty new. I don't think everyone got the Premiere update pushed out to them at the same time. But anyway, we're going to look at what was sent in. Thanks for everyone who, hung out for the week and enjoyed this stuff. It's nice to see people. Ooh, I'm tripping over my tongue. I burned it on some toffee earlier. Hello, everyone in the chat. Umacord, Devlin, Clever Devlin, Laura, Robert, how's it going? Sam holding it down. L3RD, hello. I made sponge toffee and it absolutely wrecked my tongue this week. So talking is going to be rough. Not a good thing to do when you have a lot of things to talk about. But we're going to jump into the Discord. We're going to see what has been sent in and let's get into it. And if you have any questions in the chat about anything that we've covered the last couple of weeks, do let me know. And we can get into that. After Effects, Premiere, new features. Bring me your questions. I'll try to help you out. And we'll see what's going on. All right, let's have a look here. This is what we were working on yesterday, but let's get into the old Discord. Oh, it's up on a different screen. That's not particularly helpful to our purposes here. There we go. And yeah, we've been doing a lot of stuff. So we did some trailer text, and then we got into some custom transitions, and then we got into some optical illusions, and look at this. We've got a wonderful illusion to observe. Here's a nice kind of a smorgasbord of them here running through various different effects. And one of the things that I really like about this technique that we can enjoy. Now, if I go full screen on this, is that going to do stuff for us? Yes. Okay. Is the different resolutions that you observe this type of effect at are really going to change sort of the moire patterns that occur, especially on small screens. And that's right, Oliver. I eated the toffee too fast. Turns out when you get candied sugar up to 300F, it really burns your body. Anyway, I love these. I love the kind of variation they did, cranking out a bunch of these patterns. I like that this one has two versions of it going in opposite directions. I think that worked out quite nicely. It looks like they kept the fill on the repeated object here. I think something happened. Something happened with this to give it that interesting little striation running through. That's very nice. But yeah, overall, fantastic stuff. I think these are great things. Now, if you're not a member of our Discord yet, you should be. There's a lot of things that go on in there. Lots of questions, lots of inspiration. If you have quandaries, you can message people on there, and they'll help you out. And if you have questions for me, you can find me on Discord, EC Abrams, number 1383. I don't know. Ask me things if you like. It's a nice way to get in touch with people. But yeah, I think thank you so much to Turtle for sending that in. I think they did a great job with the variety and really exploring what we did. Now, if you want to make stuff like that, we might as well open up After Effects, and we'll just kind of do a little recap on what this thing was that we created. Now, the idea was we're going to use repeaters and offsets inside of After Effects to create these wonderful types of illusions, which I think are quite wonderful. So all we need to do is make a new composition, right? And we were going with verticals, but you could make them square if you want. Make them any sort of layout. I'm actually going to make a square one because I think squares are fun. And then we go ahead and we create a shape in here. I like to double click up here on the rectangle tool, or maybe we'll grab, say, the ellipse tool and drop that down. And, to teach this thing, I like to start with some colors that are pretty wacky and maybe strokes that are too large for what we're really going to be doing with this. But we create kind of whatever the middle ground of the thing is. And then we went ahead and we added to this a repeater. And you can see that the repeater, as the name suggests, is repeating the things. And we go ahead and we increase the number of copies, and we come into the transform of the repeater. And if we twirl into here, the transform of the repeater is how each of the next subsequent repetitions, each instance is being changed. So right now, each one is being pushed a little bit to the side. Bring that down to 0, and instead we are going to increase the scale of these. So they're going to be scaling up like so. I'm going to bring the stroke down a little bit on these. And you can see here that if we start to change sort of the ratios here of the scale, that we end up with this kind of oblonged shape, right? Now, what we want to do here is maybe we will remove the fill, maybe we'll change the stroke, but let's leave it here for now. Maybe I'll just darken this up so it's a little bit easier to kind of see what's going on. And we would say that this one is the outside duplications, right? And if we wanted to animate these doing something, why all we need to do is actually animate the offset of them. And like ripples in a stream, right, we can just offset them a little bit. And I'm going to offset them just from 0 to 1, right? Just from 0 to 1, that's it. It's not going very far. And then the interpolated middle of that from 0 to 1 looks kind of like this. Now, of course, glory to Hypno Turtle. Absolutely. We are definitely doing some Hypno Toad stuff here. And one of the things that we're going to do with this, though, is we're going to hold down Option, click on the stopwatch. This will allow us to write in an expression. Expressions are great because it allows us to, help automate some stuff. And in this case, we are going to type in loop out, and we're going to choose the cycle method. So if you type in this little cheat code, it is going to cycle our keyframes over and over and over again, all into eternity, right? That's what we want. And now we need what happens on the inside of this, right? So we need the inside of that. So I'm going to duplicate this. We're going to call that inside. And if we roll into here and we remove that repeater, we are going to maybe use the offset paths, which we did in the example. So we're going to grab the offset paths, and we're going to offset this moving inwards like this so that each thing is inside the other. We're going to come down to copies, make a bunch of copies like this, and we are going to offset the copies. So we'll come down here, tap the U key, and that'll bring up just the keyframes. Let's say we need to offset those copies going in some direction. So we're going to move it from 1 to 0, and we're ending up with this kind of rippling effect. Holding down Alt, clicking on this, we're going to go into, when I say this, I mean the stopwatch. We're going to loop out, and we are going to cycle those as well. And if we observe this, it's time to get a little hypnotized by this buddy like this. So I think that worked out pretty nicely. I gotta feel pretty good about that. Now you could do different kind of tiers and levels of this and have them start and end and terminate in different ways. So hopefully these are good ideas. I hope these are worthwhile thoughts. If we take these, we can take the fill down to a dark color. We can bring the stroke to a light color, and then we can play around with that. We didn't get a chance to talk about a new feature in After Effects that I really had kind of hoped would have dropped before for our After Effects week. Come up to Window, and I want to show you real quickly here the Properties panel. So if you don't have your Properties panel open, I do, but I don't know where I put it. Hold on, where are you, Properties panel? Properties, bloop, they must be somewhere. Window, Properties, where have I put those? They must be somewhere. Oh, it's way over here. Oh my goodness. This is the Properties panel. You're going to want to nest it somewhere. And the Properties panel is pretty new. What it does is it tries to take a lot of the things that would be hidden down here inside of our timeline and displays them over here in a contextual space. You see the bar up here at the top. This is also a contextual space, but we have a new and different contextual space to enjoy. And you can see that it is showing us the layer's contents of the shape layer. And this will become more robust as the feature gets more and more sort of refined and defined. The layer properties are over here. So if you wanted to adjust things about where the layer is at, setting keyframes, it's a lot of the same controls you're going to find down on the timeline, but they're a lot more easy to access up here. One of the things I really like is having the line cap and line joint things represented now by icons instead of a drop-down menu. So big thumbs up for that. A lot of our designing things are going to be made a lot easier by the Properties panel. So we didn't get a lot of time to talk about that during our challenges, but if we're going to bring your attention to it now, the more reps you get playing around with the Properties panel, the more natural it's going to feel, and then you'll start to wonder how you lived without it. I've been using it in the public beta for a while, so that's that's how I've been kind of getting my reps in to be a little bit more comfortable with this, because my muscle memory is really all about coming down to the timeline. Now, speaking of timelines, what did we do for the rest of our time together? Well, we made some stretchy text stickers. That was a fun thing to do. And then the next week we got into a lot of text-based editing. So we might as well spend some time together editing things textually. We've got a lot of files for you to enjoy, a whole bunch of things from the Prelinger archive if you want to cut together and remix a lot of that archival footage, and an interview between Andrew Hawkradle and myself. And we talked about his Southwest projects. So you've got a lot of footage to work from using text-based editing. So we might as well get back into Premiere. And for those who maybe missed last week or weren't around for this, I might as well give you the rundown on how text-based editing kind of goes. We want to bring in our sources as we normally would. And if you double click on them, they'll come up here in the source monitor. Now, this is a bunch of stuff from the Prelinger archive. Here's, I guess, some adults playing children fighting in a schoolyard. Weird things found in the Prelinger archive. Let's see, here we go. Here's a fairy godmother giving some dating tips to a young girl. That's weird. But we can bring in a clip, and you want to come over to the text tab. Now, if you don't see the text area, you want to come down here and make sure your text window is open. And it may ask you to, hey, I need to transcribe that. So we can just go ahead and you can say, let's see, I can ask this to retranscribe the clip that we have here. Hit transcribe. And what it's going to do is on your machine, it's going to transcribe the sequence. It's going to listen to it, and it's going to turn all of the sounds into words. Well, not all of the sounds. It's not like dramatic music playing, but this is going to make all of the corpus of text in here searchable so that we can search through this and use this to construct our timelines. Now, we used it in a few different ways throughout the week. We used it to cut down an interview. That was fun. We used it to produce a supercut of all the times we said the same word during that interview, so people remember our Southwest remix. That was a good time. And then we got into some other functions we can do with this that make it easier to put text in the right places, that make it easy for us to make supercuts of music in this case. And it all comes down to our fantastic ability to just search up here in the corpus of stuff. So maybe look for the word hope. The word hope appears 2 times. Let's see, what other words might we find in here? See if Cindy Quaker. How do they name these people? Look for the word party. How many times is that mentioned in here? Yeah, a good 20 to 21 times through here. But if you go ahead and you select a bunch of text and you click on the insert or the overwrite, right? And you can even use the same wonderful keyboard shortcuts you're probably used to, the comma and period. That'll drop it down.
I've enjoyed
right on your timeline.
I've enjoyed the party.
And this is a great way to sort of build out a sequence, build out a rough cut from the text instead of having to listen and scrub to everything, which could be quite bothersome. Now, we use this to great effect here, we'll say, to produce some strange remixes here that I really enjoy. I love this kind of stuff. You could probably tell.
It's me. Hi.
The problem. It's me.
The chorus from Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero, or maybe you're more of a classics fan.
Never gone to give up.
Never gone. Let you
down.
Never
Gone
around and
dessert.
you.
A little Rick roll, a little Rick Astley for you. This is a great thing to do with a corpus of anything that you can bring in. But this technique to sample from a huge amount of stuff takes a little extra level of working with the text-based systems that we have in place. Now, part of that is once we've transcribed a whole bunch of things we just drop all of those things onto one single timeline. And even if the various clips get their transcripts sort of updated, that will populate this with the new text. Now, the ability to then work with this big corpus here as our source comes down to the buttons down here at the very bottom of the text window. So if we say follow active monitor, whatever happens to be in the active monitor is what we're going to see up here in the transcript area. That's which transcript we will be enjoying. And if we uncheck this, we can toggle between the program monitor, the thing that's being shown up here, and the source monitor, which is the thing that's up here. Now we get to use that in a wonderful way to right click into here, and we can take that corpus and we can just say, where is it? Open in source monitor. So now this giant thing, this massive transcript is open up here. If we come over to text, I'm going to get to enjoy it there. And if we then just go ahead and start making a specific song. And reminds me of Rapper's Delight by Brian Williams. Well, I mean, I'm more of a Sugar Hill Gang fan, but now what you hear is not a test. So you can see we are able to kind of search up here. Let's see, space. Now, space should bring me things that are the word now. Okay, and it looks like we've got a lot of them. So I'm going to grab this, and we are going to push that down to our timeline, right? So we got to insert, but make sure that you have the thing. Make sure you have the thing indeed selected. Oh, hold on. Corpus. In source, grab its text. There it goes. There it comes in. Okay. Gotta wait for a while. So we want to look for the word now in all of this. Go. We're having some processing speed trubs for me. And we're just going to go through. We're going to grab this. And you do have to go through and you have to kind of audition a few of them and say like, oh, is this the what that I would enjoy? Because it gets some of guys the next sentence here. And the intonation is tough because we don't have access to like the tone of these things in the transcript. So we're a little bit on our own with some of this stuff. I'll give this an extra frame. No, not the extra frame. Now, one of the tips that you need to do, when searching, I think I said this for individual words, is sometimes you need to put a little space after these, which of course would preclude us from. And sometimes the transcript is a little off. You would think, do you like music? Let's grab both of these. This really does give me an appreciation for the bizarre pronunciation of these old. That's like a laser beam. Okay. Let's keep going to the next patch. Let's grab the next U. All right, come on. There's got to be some good U's in here. Pew, pew. Pew, pew, indeed. Let's grab this one. Let's grab this one. Let's grab this one. One of these has to be appropriate. Yeah, we're going to go for this longer one. Here. We're going for the word here. How many instances? 20. We got 20. Now, some of those are the word heart. I hear they're trying to organize a camera club. Well, I hear they're trying to stitch together Rapper's Delight. There we go. That's a good one. Here's an easy one. An is. I'm sure there's like 100 of those. Yeah, 205. Chemistry is different from photography. Love it. Now, ideally, right? Ideally, we can get things that are kind of close to each other in the corpus so that they're not so dissimilar, right? Although the jump from different speakers is great. Oh, you want to know the keyboard shortcuts that we're using? These are to insert these things is just the comma. It's just the comma that does it. So if you need to, say, grab some stuff. So if we grab this section and we want to insert it, it's tapping the comma that'll drop that in.
Well, that is quite...
Oh, wait, I've already got an is. Why am I still searching for more ises? Yeah. Now, unfortunately, Clever Devlin, I don't think we're going to be able to get... Hold on. Let's just find out. Hip. What the... So put an address before they get here for a hip. That doesn't make any sense. These aren't words that...
For hip? For hip? For hip?
I guess that is what she said. Okay. How about hop? Is the word hop even in here? Hope. Hope is in here. I think we'd need a different corpus if we really wanted to try to go through Rapper's Delight. But I wanted the word not, is what I was looking for in here.
Here's
Let's try this one. This looks a much more isolated patch. Now, this is going to be a lot, so I'm going to just look for... I'm going to see if... Oh, that's interesting. Is the word test not in here? Too many things in the corpus. Anyway, I think you get the idea. But the other steps that we need to do from that is to grab a bunch of your clips in the essential sound, tell the essential sound that it's all dialogue, use that to harmonize their loudness together. And that's going to make it a little bit easier to discern what's going on. And with archival stuff, you probably want to come into repair and go with reduce noise. So you're going to have to take some of that background hum and buzz out. And then you can probably boost up the clip volume a little bit. So that's working out pretty good. And that's what we did to produce these other things.
Hi.
The problem. It's me.
For a lot of these things. So hopefully those are good ideas. Hopefully these are useful thoughts to have. If you do make stuff with what we talk about on here, please do send it at me in the Discord. still happy to have a look at stuff. Tag me in there. Just at EC Abrams, and then that string of numbers in Discord, and then you'll find me. But if you're posting stuff in there in the challenge section, I'll be checking that for a little bit, and we'll see what comes in there. So if you want to drop more things in there, I'd love to see them. I'd love to see what you do with these features. But of course, our day on Adobe Live together is not over. I mean, I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go play some Zelda. But but here on Adobe Live, there's a couple of masterclasses coming up today that you should stick around for. Those are going to be fantastic. And of course, it is Friday, so all next week, there's going to be a lot of great things for you to check out as well. The challenges continue. And that's right, Kevin, the numbers are going away on Discord. I got a warning about that today. So maybe just look for EC Abrams on there. I'm sure I'll be able to grab that handle. We'll find out. But yeah, so have yourselves a great day. Stay creative, be kind to each other, and I will see you all around the internet and hopefully in that Discord, bit.ly/PR Discord. That's capital P, capital R, Discord. So check that out. All right. Goodbye, everyone. And thanks for being with me all week. Bye for now.